Hi, this is Kyle Watkins, student ID 0006863, Network Management 1. Okay, and what we're going to do today is we're going to do a simple configuration of RIP version 2. Okay, and what is happening here is that we have set up our subnets and our subnet mask, and what we're going to do is configure the RIP version 2. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I show you all the basics of it. We're doing a /26 network here, right? So this is a /26 network here on one side, and we're going to do a /24 on the next side, which is a basic class C. Obviously this one is a modified classless, which is class C modified using the first two of the fourth octet. 128/64 is 192/26, because 24 plus 2 is 26, and we see that here is the simple 24. So here's the reason why we get 192.168.2.0, the 3.0, and the 4.0. Alright, so basically we have our everything set up here perfectly. As you see, subnet on this side, we see subnets on these sides. Okay, now what we're going to do now, we're going to do our basic connectivity. We're going to connect everything together. So let's just go gigabit to gigabit 0, right? Gigabit to gigabit 1, and then we do it again from gigabit. Okay, we're going to do this side as well, right? Right. Okay, right. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to connect. So what I will do, I like to do something to check and see if this is the right. I know we're supposed to use the console, but I'm going to use it here. I'm going to try to see if I can find if this serial interface is actually the one with the clock rate. Alright, so let's just check it out. Well, first of all, let me connect it up. Alright, what we're gonna do is that we connected what? Alright. Right, so this side is the clock rate, right? So this side, this router has the clock rate, right? We can set a clock rate for this router as well. Okay, excellent. Alright, so let's just finish, connect all the network cables to each other. Alright, let's make sure and get this done. Okay, we're almost there. We'll have to physically configure these devices. Alright, okay, so now we're going to go on each device here and make sure they have the IP addresses in correctly. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let's just make sure and configure out all of these correctly. 192.168.1.2. Right. Let's make sure I put the correct subnet mask, the correct default gateway. 2.168.1.1. Okay, that is configured. Let's go here now. 192.168.1.64. Alright, 192. .168.1.64. Alright, so you have to make sure everything was correct. So there's a /64 network, 65 is the IP here, and then we do 129. Alright, so let's just make sure we change this up correct. This will be 66 instead. I'll make sure this is 65. This will be 128 and 129 instead. And we make sure this one is 130. Alright, so if you did a little mistake there, alright, as I always say, once you check back over your work, everything should be alright. 65. Correct. Let's go again. .192.168.1.130. 92. 192.168.1.129. Okay, we have that set. Let's go here now. Let's set this side. .192.168.2.100. Right, correct. 192.168.1.2.1. Alright, so let's put in the settings for this, the configurations. Okay, last of the configurations here. Alright, cool. Wait to test that. Let's see if you have any kind of connectivity here. Okay, we won't get any connectivity, my bad, because we haven't set up the interfaces. Alright, so let's just pull up our little matrix here. As you can see, we have set everything. Right, so basically we know what we have to do. So what we're going to do at best practice, we're going to pull the console cable and configure router 1. We're going to do, okay, my bad. Alright, so we're going to go terminal, access router. We're going to do some basic configs. We're going to do all the basic configurations of this router. We're not going to do any security on it, so we just want to show you how that we configure basically for RIP version 2. Alright, so what we're going to do now is enable configuration terminal, and we're going to go IP address. We'll do the shortcut just now. And by fucking IP address, we're going to do interface. So we're going to do all the interfaces. So we have interface G00, 01, and 02. So we did everything correctly there. Let's just do all our configs here now. Interface G00. We got inside there IP address 192.168.1.1 255.255.255.192. Right, no shutdown to bring up the interface. Excellent. We're going to do now another interface. It'll be even faster now because we can get to set up this with the already saved commands. No shutdown, we're gonna put on no shut. Next interface, last one too. IP address, we're gonna give that 129. Correct, no shut. Right, and as we're going to do the serial, same thing. IP address, we're giving that 1. Okay, my bad. See the problem there? Set up the wrong IP address scheme for that. So this is on a different network. This is a class A. So 10 dot, right? Sorry about that, guys. 255.0.0.0. Enter. No shut. Right. We're going to put the clock rate on this. Interface, let's just see what we can put here. Right, you see? Love these commands. Right, rate. Right, so alright, DC is the next side. We'll do the next side, okay guys? So you see, that's how we learn to check the show controllers. Let me just show you guys what I did here. The show controllers for the serial gives you a lot of detail. So it told you us that the DC, it is not the DCE side, it's the DTE side. The DCE side is the side that controls the clock rate. So we'll do it on router 1. Okay? So I already put the serial into the no shutdown mode. Right? But it will not come up until this next side comes up. Okay? So let's just go now and move the console cable onto the next side, and let's configure now this router. Right, so let's enable configure terminal. Alright guys, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do all the interfaces on this side. So let's just make sure we have our interfaces 00, 01, Alright guys, so let's go. Alright, excellent. So we're going to go interface G00. Right, IP address 192.168.2.1 255.255.255 is a class C. No shutdown. You're going to see me using all the shortcuts here. Helps with configuration a little faster. No shutdown. We're going to do this here now. Make sure and change the interface. Alright. No shutdown. Right, and what we're going to do is the serial interface as well. The serial interface is right. So we're going to do interface S0, enter IP address 192.168.4.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, let's just make sure. Oh, it's 5. See guys, I keep doing the same stupidness. I forget that the serial is on this side here, guys. See, forgive me. Russian again. That's why it's always good to take your time. Thank God that Cisco lets us, forgives us for our mistakes. No shutdown. As you can see, the no shutdown, it came up. It shows the size with the clock rate. So I can just do a show controllers. This is excellent when you're doing the show commands are so important. So let's go show controllers. Right, and as you can see, it says DCE. This place that this size is the correct size for the clock rate. So let's just go here. Right, let's just go config T interface S0. Right, enter. We can set another clock rate. Right, it's configured there. Let's copy the running config to the starting config. Let's just do that for the same side as well. For this side. And while we're on this side, we'll also configure the RIP version 2. We'll put RIP into it. Right. Copy, run, start. Right, so we see we can do the show run to make sure our configs are incorrect. Remember, we're doing basic configurations, everything is incorrect. Okay, now what we're going to do is put in the configurations for our router 0. Right, so our router 0, we're going to put in these configurations right here, and then make sure everything is set up. So let's just go router RIP version 2. Let's go let's put in all our networks 10.0. So we put in this network here, and then we're going to continue again 192.168.1.0 .64 and .128. Alright, we're gonna end. We're gonna copy, run, start, and what we're gonna do is show IP route. Right, as you can see here, we have all our locally connected. Right, we have all our locally connected. They are all locally connected to each other. Okay, right, they're all locally connected to each other, and we have set the route in the routing tables. Okay, so we could do it very specifically for what we want to see for. So let's do it for RIP. Alright, so let's just move on. Let's configure this router now. Alright. Configure terminal. And we're going to do for router 1. Let's go router RIP version 2, and we're going to put in our network again on this one. We're going to put in our network for our serial bus. Hi, serial interfaces, a network for all the other networks. So 192.168.2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. Okay, now we may not want the routes to go past. Right, so we don't want the routes to go past here. We want the routes to stay in here. We want them to know about the network, but we don't want them to advertise on these. Okay, so we're going to put something called passive interface, and we're going to set all our interfaces so that it will not pass the routed information onto those interfaces due to the fact that there are no other routers on those interfaces. Okay, so let's just go back in to the other network, to the other router, and let's set that as well. This is our best practice so that you don't have a sort of traffic going there that they don't need that information. Alright, config T, so let's just go router RIP version 2 passive interface, and we set it for the same gigabit ports. Alright, this is always a good practice, guys. Never forget it. Alright. Alright, guys. Okay, guys, so what we're doing here now, as I did a show IP route, and here we can see the information for on the serial that is telling me that there are routes that's supposed to go to these networks, right, available on this side. Okay, and basically the administrative distance is 120. Okay, and what we can do now, we can do an auto summary. So what we can do is no auto summary, so that we don't summarize these routes inside here. Alright, because it seems like it's summarizing the routes from 2, 0, 3 and 4, so we don't get the full detail of what is happening right on this side actually. Right, so on this side actually we're just getting a summarization of what they are. So let's just see if we can stop that from happening and go ahead. But as you can see, this is not for the course, this is showing you the version 2. Right, so let's just go here as well to see if we have the same information. let's start a new terminal. Okay, let's show. As you can see here, there are also, what happened is that they're showing us there are 3 actual different networks on this side. So this side has showed us what type there was. There was actually 192.168.1 on a /26 subnet mask. This one is actually showing us there are 3 different networks, the 20, the 30, and the 40 on a /24. Now let's go back and make sure that we have the right information here. Always like to make sure that we know what's going on. Okay, terminal, right? So let's see on a /24, but that is because they do not know that this actually is summarized as a 192. So let's just go in and see what we can do here. So let's just go here and let's do a no summary. Alright, so let's just, this is to make sure that we can see the actual things that happen on the router. So the actual routes that are going to all these different segments on the net of the network 192.168.1.0, because we have it on /26. Okay guys, so let's just go router RIP version 2, and we're going to say no auto summary. Alright, we're going to N, we're going to copy, run start, right? And let's just go down and let's just see what information we collect that we collect. Okay, so now actually I did it on the wrong side, but that's no problem. Let's go on the next router and do it as well, to make sure that this router shows us what we get. Okay, so config T router RIP version 2 no auto summary, and copy, run start, and let's just show IP route. Okay, so now as you can see now with no auto summary, the no auto summary shows us that all the different subnets that we have, subnetworks that we have. So they separated for us. They show us that they're getting connected to our /24, but it's segmented in a /26. So we have all the different networks for the RIP. We have the 1.64 and the 1.28. So the auto summary helped us. Okay, as we can say, advertise the auto summary, the no auto summary, or let's just say the auto summary is to advertise and carry subnet routes in RIP. Right? Let me just rephrase that. With no auto summary, it will not summarize and advertise the networks, right, as 1/24. With auto summary enabled, all your routes will be automatically summarized into classful networks. So we wanted it to be classless. So what we did was the no auto summary here, right? And with the no auto summary here, it allowed us to show all the networks that are in the 192.168.1.0, because it's not a /24 but a /26. So this is where we got all our information here. Alright, so let's copy that. Let's come here and let's create something as nice so everyone can see. Okay, and that is exactly what would have happened for this on, and this would have been on router 1. Right, so for router 1 we'll have this information here, and for router 2 we would have had this information here. Now we didn't need to put the route no auto summary on this one, but it's always best practice to have it on the routers so that you can have a clear identification of where everything is going. Alright guys, so that has been my tutorial on RIP version 2. As you can see, we have full RIP version 2 working. I'd like to thank you. Now, I've just done a basic ping here. What I did is I used PC2, right? And I pinged 192.168.2.100 and it worked. What happened is that because we have set up RIP version 1 and the automatic and the routing is working, we can now ping different IP addresses on the other side and we should get a response because all the routes have been set in the routing table, and we will get a proper response now. Okay guys, so just want to thank you guys for taking time to watch the video. Enjoy your day.